Sure.
Yes, we can start.
Should I grab that one? Okay. All right. Is this on now? There you go. It is now. Okay. 1, 2, 3, check. Show business. All right. Good morning, everybody. I'm Pete Erickson. I'm the founder of MoDev, hence the shirt. I'm also the creator of Voice Summit, and this has been a 10-year journey to build a conference like this. I started MoDev 10 years ago. I had moved to Washington, D.C. I didn't know anybody. And I moved there for love. I moved there to marry my wife. So I moved for the right reasons, all the way from Seattle. And the iPhone had come out, and people were starting to make noise about that. And I wanted to find people to collaborate with, and I didn't know where to look because I was new to town. So I started something called a meetup group. And 10 years ago, about this time, 12 people met in a pizza shop to talk about development. And it just occurred to me that there was a need to bring people together. And so today, the why of MoDev is we believe human connection is vital in the era of digital transformation, and it drives everything we do. And on that journey over 10 years, I've been lucky enough to work with companies large and small, companies like Amazon and Google, but also small companies and startups, and help them connect with their audiences, kind of through our purpose. And it's worked out. So when the Amazon Alexa came out in 2015, Amazon asked me, said, how do we go about meeting developers in this space? So we put together a developer workshop series, had the very first workshop for Amazon Alexa developers. All that data we started to gather. We went to 10 cities in the summer of 2017. We trained 2,000 people. We gathered all this data. The data told us that there was not a conference for this space. There were about 12 different persona types. So we went on a journey to build a conference, to brand a conference, and to find a home. And that journey has been a really incredible experience for me. It's changed my life because we got to go to several major cities in the US. We got to have a competition, and there was a winner selected in the spring of 2018, with our partners at Amazon. And that city was Newark, New Jersey. I want to give Newark a big round of applause for hosting this event. Thank you very much. I just want to thank this community. I want to thank the university. I want to thank leadership. I want to thank Angela Garrettson at the university. Thank you so much for all your hard work. Karen Aaron at the Greater Newark Convention and Visitors Bureau. President Joe Bloom. David Hafitz with Prudential. This community is special because it's connected in many different ways with a number of different folks that are integrated in the transformation of Newark. And we're now part of that story. We're woven into that fabric after doing last year's event, and now we're here this year. So you're members of the press. I don't mean to give you that kind of like story because that's not maybe press worthy, but I wanted to give you a little bit of background and tell you a little bit about this journey and why it's special and why it's meaningful. Today, I'm just so proud that we are bringing together, by the end of this week, we probably will exceed 5,000 people coming to this conference and getting involved. We have people from more than 26 countries that have flown in from all over the world to speak, sponsor, and hang out here for 4 days. This year, what's different is we added this day 0. This is now a pre-conference workshop day. There's a hackathon. There's a STEAM day sponsored by Prudential. There's a VIP welcome reception tonight, a developer appreciation night. So what's happening with Voice? Voice is now becoming it's a platform event. So not unlike other major events. So what we're doing here is we're setting the groundwork and the framework for Voice to be that platform where it's an event of events. And we're excited to see where this can go and where this future leads. So we have more than 450 speakers over the next 4 days. A lot of amazing sponsors. We have 150 sponsors. The Amazon Alexa Smart Home is here. It's in the expo hall. It is absolutely fabulous. You must go take a tour. About 150 other exhibitors from startups to major companies, including the likes of Samsung, Sonos, TiVo, and other major brands that you recognize, and then a lot that you want to meet. You're going to hear this morning from a few companies that are doing something very special and transforming the world, changing the way that we communicate through voice and conversational design. So the industry is changing, it's shifting. It really started to move last year. This year, the speed is picking up. Next year, what this conference is going to evolve into is we have the tech this year, and you're going to notice that. We have some marketing. Next year, we're adding the content. So the podcasters, the live streamers, the music streamers, That's why this conference is yet again going to probably double in size. So we're making those plans now, and I am just thrilled to be on this journey, and thank you so much for covering it. As an organizer, I have to tell you, one of the things I've always wanted is to have really good press coverage of my events, because it means a lot to the industry and moving the industry forward. So thank you so much for your interest. I'm going to be available over the next few days to sit down with you and talk about what the vision is for this conference. But I know there are a lot of other great folks here and companies that deserve your attention, because this is an interesting time. People are interested. The Amazon Prime Day was just last week, or the 2 days of the Prime Days. They sold out of every Echo and Echo Show device. The public is in this space. They're very interested. 70 million people use voice interfaces in their cars every day commuting. The world's changed. We're part of that change. Thank you so much for having me. I'm going to turn it back over to Marjorie. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Marjorie Fields-Harris, and of Southern Hills Communications. Glad to be here this morning. Let's start out just letting you know, the other day I asked my 7-year-old niece, would you turn on the stereo for me? And she looks at me like, what? I said, go over there and just hit that button, turn it on, the music will come on. She couldn't understand it. So what did I say? Alexa, turn on the stereo, please. So AI is an important part of our lives. It's especially for those who have young people around you who don't know how to operate stereos and televisions manually. So it's an important part. Pete, thank you. As a citizen of the city, we welcome you, and we're excited and hope that you will keep coming back every year, because this is an important part of what we do. I'd like to introduce now someone who's clearly a visionary leader in the city, Dr. Joel Bloom, who is the president of NJIT. NJIT, like I said, I live here, I work here, and as a citizen, Dr. Bloom, I just want to thank you, because what NJIT is doing for the city is so remarkable, and bringing in so many people like MoDev and the Voice Summit is important and integral to the growth of the city as we develop into a major tech hub on the East Coast. So just want to thank you. But ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Joel Bloom.
Thank you. And if you're going to be a tech hub, you need a lot of support. Technology, while there are efficiencies in it, at the end of the day, it costs, particularly if you're in the instructional and research side. So there's somebody here who supports this city, this state, and this university in particular very, very significantly as we attempt to bring more resources into the city. So let me take this opportunity to introduce not only a dear friend, but somebody who's consumed with making sure we all succeed, Congressman Payne. Please, Congressman Payne, would you just... Not for, I know there's a lot of recording going on, so I'll be a little careful there. You know what Willie Sutton said? Why do you go to banks? He didn't quite say it that way. Why are Congress people so important for this city and this state? Because that's where most of the resources are. So Congressman Payne, thank you again for all that you do for this university, this city, and this state. So NJIT, and you can't find a better partner, outstanding partner, than Pete Erickson. Not only will he call you at all hours of the day, text you at all times in the evening, email you, but he is out in front. I read some of the material that he's been talking about adding the content. And I said, wow, that's genius. Now we're going to have a real footprint worldwide based on what he's proposing for 2020, for the next conference here. So Pete, thank you for everything and your team that you do. It's always well thought out, well executed, and everyone I've talked to who's left this conference last year, the 2,700 plus people, the vendors downtown, the hotels, the restaurants. I even, if truth be known, got a free lunch in one case. Went into the restaurateur, he said, wow, this is the best week I've ever had here this last year. And the bill never came for lunch. But then again, he's not my vendor, so I could do that. And it was probably under the allowed amount, Karen. So I think I'm safe. So NJIT, we continue to grow. We'll start with nearly 12,000 students. Why do we do that? Because students leaving here, name you're familiar with by now, David Isbitsky. There aren't enough David Isbitskys in the workforce today, leading something like Voice, leading something like the Echo, or Alexa. There's just not enough. So these are young men and women in such great demand coming out of this university. They have 3 and 4 job offers in hand. So, and the salaries are very, very good salaries. The R&D that we're doing in this space, you'll hear from some of it, not only from people who came from across the country and around the world, but some of our own people here. Our research, NJIT became an R1 university. For the uninitiated, that means research intensive. When all of the big grants get read in Washington, D.C. by various agencies, those grant proposals that get read first are the R1s. There's only 131 R1 universities. There happen to be 3 in the state of New Jersey. NJIT recently joined the club, obviously Rutgers and obviously Princeton. But that brings more resources to our state, to this university, and to higher ed in general here. So the R1. And then again, Congressman Payne and I were talking a couple of minutes ago. What's critically important is how transformative technology is, not only in your household, not only in the workplace. I talk to my car, I talk to the thermostat on the wall. What don't you talk to today that's not a technology instrument? I talk to my son and wife through my smartphone, right? As compared to live. But the text goes, and it's fast. And as compared to doing some of the keystroking, you get 2, 3, 4 times as much done. If that's what your perchant is, I think we need to get a lot of things done here at this university. So the research is behind a lot of this. And last is the Congressman and I were speaking. It's transformative because the NJIT did get recognized now for 2 years in a row as being #1 in the nation for taking young men and women with the lowest of family incomes when they come here as freshmen, and 10 years in the workforce, they're in the top quintiles of earning. So Congressman Payne, Mayor Ras Baraka, NJIT, we're partnering to get many, many more Newark students to NJIT because it transforms not only their lives, I've observed over the years it transforms their families' lives. So thank you for being here. Be happy to answer your questions. And it's just an absolute pleasure to have the opportunity to participate, work with all of the folks here. And thank you, and to bring this conference to our great city of Newark. Thank you very much.
Congressman Payne, I know that you have you were invited and not expected to bring remarks, but we would like to hear from you, Congressman, just for a couple of minutes about the importance of IT and really how important it is for NJIT to have this conference here. If you could bring a few remarks, please.
Thank you.
I turned it off.
Alexa, turn on the mic.
Well, let me first welcome everyone to Newark, New Jersey, my home all my life. And, you know, I am now a member of Congress representing the 10th Congressional District of the state of New Jersey, which this great institution lies in. And it has just been a great partnership with Mr. Bloom and myself, the mayor, and the people of the city of Newark. Watch this institution, which has always been great, but be transformed by this president. And I was a member of the Newark City Council, and I just think that a lot of people are realizing what a lot of us have known all our lives, that Newark is a diamond in the rough, and it is now beginning to show its brilliance to the world. It's always been great, but more people know it now than ever. And one of the reasons people are learning that is because of this great institution, NJIT. And so I'm not surprised that Voice has found a home here, and we thank you for being here. And when my time at the Newark City Council, and Mr. Bloom will attest to that, I've always felt that wherever the country was going, and a great mayor once said this, wherever the country was going, Newark would get there first. Now that has been true in many ways, some that we aren't very happy about, but the transformation of this town is not by mistake. It is a mindset of the leadership and the people in this community. And so as Newark becomes this technical hub, Panasonic, NJIT now Voice, we continue to strive to make sure that the resources and the climate is right for the technology hub to take off. So I'm just delighted to be here once again on this campus for another great opportunity for Newark to be involved in what is on the cutting edge. And I believe that this Voice participation, or this Voice conference, is just another symbol of the direction that Newark is going. So I'm just a cheerleader. I just happened to stop in. I didn't, obviously you can tell I didn't have remarks prepared, but I'm always here to support the great things that are going on in the city of Newark. So thank you very much once again for having me.
Thank you, Congressman. Pete mentioned that we're going to have almost 5,000 people here, which means what? Tourism. That sounds like beds and heads, right? So we have the President and CEO of the Greater Newark Convention and Visitors Bureau, Ms. Karen Aaron.
Good morning. Is this not a great day for Newark? So we need to give Newark a shout out. So first I would like to say again, my name is Karen Aaron, and I am the President and CEO of the Greater Newark Convention and Visitors Bureau. So on behalf of my travel and tourism partners, certainly want to thank Pete Erickson for hosting and bringing Newark back to Newark, as well as Dr. Bloom for allowing us to use this fabulous facility. And then just to the community of Newark that has came out and rallied behind this conference to make sure that it is as successful as it will be. So a couple of important things to know about what a conference like this does to a city. We knew that when we spoke with Pete last year, we knew that this was going to be something different. And we definitely want to make sure that we showcase the university as well as the capacity that Newark can handle such an event. The beautiful part was last year, this conference surpassed over $5 million in economic impact. And what that means is that our partners, our hotels, our restaurants, our small businesses, all got a chance to experience what a conference like this will do to our community. So that's why this is very important, that we leverage our relationships with our universities like Dr. Bloom and NJIT, our partners in our hotels, our partners in our industry to host major events like this. I am more than excited. Pete is now my brother. He's my neighbor. I hold on to him like he is my best friend because I know he knows what he's done to the city. And the more we embrace and host events like this in Newark, the more you will see Newark grow and thrive. So on behalf of the city of Newark, you are still our Newark brother. You are, and we look forward to hosting more events like this in the future. So please rally behind events like this, and we look forward to the support as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Pete, you've planned a nice panel discussion here that we're going to have with some people. Would you like to introduce the panelists?
Sure. Okay, happy to.
All right.
Okay, great. And just to one more, I didn't really probably give Karen enough praise, but she was on the other end of the line when we were making our final decision, and this came down to Newark, Newark, New York, Philly, and LA, and it was a very close finish, and she was the one that said, we're gonna get this done. So Karen, you made it happen, so thank you so much. Yeah, so we've got a great panel here, and I don't know everybody's names. So I'm just gonna pass the mic down, everyone's gonna introduce themselves. I will introduce this first man here, David Hayfitz. He also has been instrumental in the success of the event this year, and they spearheaded this STEAM Day, which is happening today, which is a very special event within Voice Summit. So I'll have David introduce himself first. Thank you.
Thanks, Pete. Appreciate the partnership. I'm David Hayfitz from Prudential. I'm not in the community relations of Prudential. I'm not in the foundation. I sit in the technology division of Prudential. And I'll just, before I hand the mic down, I don't want to take too long, but we talk about technology institutions, you talk about the big companies like Google and Amazon, but I will remind you that the oldest technical institution in this area is Prudential. We do not sell hardware, we do not sell gadgets, we don't sell software that you can go and buy, but we sell a promise. And that promise is guaranteed and enhanced by technology, and technology alone. So for us, finding the talent and maintaining the talent to deliver that technology and that promise to our customers is of the foremost importance. So we feel very, very, very involved and integral in the community, and we love our partnership with NJIT, with other schools that are here today, and we understand the importance that it's not just what's happening now, it's what's happening in the future, and the importance of investing in that future requires a pipeline of talent. So that's why I'm excited to tell you about what we have going for STEAM Day with over 300 students from area schools. We have about 21 different booths from area technology companies that do sell widgets and hardware and things that are exciting. So I'm really excited about telling you how we've incorporated the A into STEAM, the arts, with the Newark Museum and different artists who are going to present what they're working on, what's happening here in Newark. So it's very exciting. But I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm thrilled that Pete has come back and looked to the institutional aspect of partnership and what we can do from the inside out, outside of just some of the core delivery that you might expect otherwise. So thanks.
And just to certify what David said, there's well over 100 alums of NJIT employed at Prudential. One of them even leads their fixed trading floor. You want to see sophisticated technology, go to the fixed investment trading floor. Thank you.
Cool, thank you very much. My name's Tom Blakesley. Run voice partnerships at a company called What Three Words. I'll explain a little bit about what we do and a couple of things we're announcing. First of all, thank you very much again to Pete and the team for having us. Like, there really aren't any, it's really unrivaled, this sort of event when it comes to the industry and the space. So it's really, really exciting to be here with the rest of the team from What Three Words as well. So for those of you who don't know already, by way of background, What Three Words is a global addressing system, and it's one that's been specifically designed for voice input. To give a bit of context to that, sort of questions over why, you might wonder why we need a global digital addressing system, why we might need one for voice, and really actually it's worth thinking about all of the different applications to which an address or location is central in your day-to-day lives. So that can range from everything from, say you want to order something online, you want to take a ride to a different part of town, you want to register for a bank account or start a business or buy an airplane ticket. A lot of these start with an address. You need a location, and in actually many parts of the world, developing and developed, talking about that specific location isn't always the easiest and simplest thing to do. Very often addresses they're not always unique. We will often have duplicate addresses. If you think about the number of roads named Main Street in the US, and there's a great example in the UK, there are 15 streets alone called Church Road. Addresses aren't always in the correct language, so you've got increasingly globalized world, everyone moving around, and it's not always easy to pronounce or describe a place in the country you're not familiar with. And then you've got the fact that just in lots of places, addresses don't really exist at all. They're either places that are completely off the map, or places where we have sort of vague locations, but they're just not particularly precise. So take, for example, NJIT, coming here today. Like I think many people here may have pitched up in our Uber at the wrong entrance to the building around the corner, and that's because even though an address can often get you to the building or to the block, actually getting you to a specific doorway or entrance or exit isn't that straightforward. So the way we went about this, so what 3 words, is we basically built a system that divides the world into 3 meter by 3 meter squares. You end up with 57 trillion 3 meter squares. You can imagine a grid laid over the entire world. And we basically labeled every square using 3 random words from the dictionary. Okay, so the 3 words that are unrelated to one another, unrelated to the location, but act as a label or a unique address for that specific square. So the front door to our office in London is at Field Count Soap. I live in South London at Sober Living Kings. So you start to get the idea. There are 3. There's a unique combination of 3 words for every square in the world, and in particular, this is designed for voice input. So traditional addresses aren't designed for voice input. You have similar addresses in similar places. You have addresses that sound the same but are spelled differently. You have addresses that might exist but are in sort of the wrong language, or even have completely the wrong sort of unpronounceable script. So we've been working on this a lot with different partners across different industries. So everything from the automotive industry. If you get into a new Mercedes-Benz, you can give a Mercedes the 3 words for your destination, and it will route you there. In certain countries, you can order a Domino's pizza to a 3-word address to actually make sure it arrives hot and on time. And in the UK now, for example, you can call up the emergency services, and in the majority of instances, they will actually be able to take and accept and send an ambulance or a police car to a given 3-word address. And one of the things we've been really focusing on lately is actually bringing this to as many people as possible, so that it's not relevant just in a specific instance, or it's not only relevant if you're a Mercedes owner, but really so that no matter how you what services you use in your day-to-day, you can use a 3-word address, which is why sort of as of this morning we're announcing publicly the release of our Amazon Alexa skill. So that means that you can actually use the what 3-word skill with Alexa to do several very simple, very straightforward functions using a 3-word address. So this is just really very, very early stage, but it's leveraging the sort of the Alexa and the smart speaker platform and environment to sort of bring that functionality to as many different users as possible. So we're here. We've got a smaller space on the Alexa booth around the corner. So I invite you to come and try it out, and yeah, more than happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Chris Padilla, Senior Director of Product at Realogy in Madison, New Jersey. I wanted to echo all the sentiment this morning of saying thank you for bringing this and building this voice community here in Newark and NJIT. It's really exciting, and I think it's a testament, among with many other things, as a staple of voice being here to stay and everything that it has to offer. So what's Realogy? Some of you might be familiar. Realogy is the largest full-service residential real estate company in the U.S. We own, operate, and franchise some of the most recognizable brands in the industry, the likes of Coldwell Banker, Century 21, Better Homes and Garden, Sotheby's International Realty. And our belief is we believe in arming our affiliated agents with the very best in technology, resources, learning, data available to them so that they can then serve their customers, the buyers, sellers of homes. And that's why it made sense for us to be here and to enter into the voice space as being able with our Agent X voice assistant, right? From our perspective, we're building and have built a B2B tool for our affiliated agents to be able to unlock their productivity potential. What does that mean? A real estate agent is typically on the go, right? You're moving from appointment to appointment, house to house. You're an entrepreneur on your own hustle. And what we do is with Agent X is give them the ability to access their information via voice when they don't have time to dive deeper into the many already great products that they use today to manage their day-to-day business. And we built Agent X, our voice assistant, very much with the feedback of those same entrepreneurs, those agents throughout the U.S. They helped shape it, and what was very clear is what I mentioned before is that on-the-go voice tech and on-the-go voice assistant is very much something that's within the wheelhouse that can enable them to be more effective, more efficient, more productive about their day, ultimately allowing them to increase their business and manage their business to that greater goal that they're looking forward towards. So Agent X as a whole has been in pilot. It just completed that pilot session, and beginning next week on July 30th will be available nationwide to all of our 4 brands across the U.S. So I thank you guys for the opportunity to be here today, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you. My name is Jay DeWalt, and I'm COO at ARIA NLG. Well, it's just a pleasure to be here. We're a New Jersey-based company, ARIA NLG, and we're focused on what's called natural language generation. And I think what you're seeing here at this conference will literally, and is literally, changing the world on how we interact and communicate with systems and how systems communicate back with us. We refer to NLG as the last mile. NLG is focused on generating language from underlying data. You can see a lot of what's called natural language technologies here at this conference, everything from speech to text, being able to make commands and getting a response back. Where we're focused as NLG is actually generating human language from underlying data. And we're focused on that in the business sector more so than the consumer sector. So we're demonstrating here, we have a couple presentations, and it's about generating language from underlying data. And so we've integrated with BI platforms where a lot of business data resides, the business intelligence platform. We've integrated with RPA, with UiPath RPA, to be able to consolidate and collect the data to be presented and then translated, actually generated dynamically, the language in human terms. Because we as humans, we speak language. So it goes beyond just command response to actually generating insights about the underlying data in the form that we as humans communicate in, language. And then we can push that language to either to written reports, we like to read things, or push it to voice output, but in a human way. So we've integrated with the whole stack of what's called natural language technologies. We focus on the NLG layer of that to actually generate the human language. We'll also be announcing here at Voice a partnership with a company named FaceMe, which is a type of presentation layer for actually a digital human, an avatar, to actually, once you've generated that language, to actually communicate it through a presentation layer through FaceMe, which is a digital human. That's one form of, you might also be driving, where you're not going to have a digital human appear, but you might actually communicate via voice and get insights to your data as a business. And so we thank you and looking forward to questions.
My name is Mary Alice McMorrow. My name is Mary Alice McMorrow, and I'm here today wearing several hats. I'm with MoDev. I'm also a speaker, exhibitor, and more importantly, I'd like to share with you, I'm also a marketer. When Pete was talking about the growth of the voice industry, I'm very passionate about marketing, joining the voice community here for this event and in general. In fact, this year we are having 2 events for marketers specifically at Voice. One of them is actually the inaugural Sonic Brand Society event. That is a group, a community of marketers and also agencies that will get together to talk about the work they're going to do in Voice, including marketing, Sonic branding, and other activities to support all the good work that's already been done. That event will take place here in Newark at the Grammy Museum Experience. That will be tomorrow night. So again, an invite-only event for those marketing members of the community. The second event is a much smaller group, is a CMO forum, where we've specifically invited members of the voice community who represent brands. So brands and companies that you would know who begin using the tech that's been built and helping them to again join and also participate in the voice industry. So that event will be tomorrow as well. The New Jersey news that I can share with that event is we have invited and they have accepted Edison Research together with their partner NPR will be presenting a summary of their recent report that was released last month. It's called the Smart Audio Report, which is the longest running public series of voice research, period. And again, Edison is based here in New Jersey, and they are going to present both to the general forum on the main stage at 4 o'clock tomorrow, but they will also be presenting to the CMO group with a discussion as well. So those are efforts that we're putting forth now with voice to bring marketers into the community to continue to grow. Thank you.
So one round of applause for all of our panelists, please. I was especially happy to hear about how your platform may be able to help, because Siri swears that I do not know how to pronounce words sometimes, and I'm like, I didn't say that. So I'm glad to hear about that. One announcement, any questions first? Any questions for the panelists? Okay.
A few. So, Tom, could you explain how you would find the 3 words for your specific area?
Yeah, so very simply, there is a free and publicly available map site and mobile app, which you'll see just a regular looking map, and as you get to a certain zoom level, as you get close, you will actually see a visualization of this grid that we've drawn over the world, and as you go and tap on the square, on the grid square that is sort of the front door for your house or wherever it is, the meeting point in the park bench, it will just display the 3 words from that point.
Perfect. And Jay, could you give an example of something you would translate? Just to put it more concretely into an example.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of our big customers are in the pharmaceutical space and financial services. I use a financial services example where you may generate an explanation of sales data. So a sales leader's driving in their car into work, and they want to know how sales are doing for that day, and they'll have a conversation with their financial data of worldwide sales, regional sales, sales by product, sales by region, and be able to interrogate and actually ask questions about their data and have a conversation with their data while they're driving in the car, and hear that back through Alexa. And then when they get to the office, they may want to visually look at it through their BI tool, but then also see the written narratives of that same data that's been converted to human language. Because we as humans understand language better than we understand numbers.
Any other questions? None? Okay. Well, thank you all for attending. We are looking forward. There is a VIP reception tonight beginning at 5:30 at the Newark Museum. All are invited. We hope that you'll come out and join us.
And just one other thing. Folks, I apologize for not mentioning. The GNCDB invested with a company called Streetography. It was an app that is used in a large number of destinations around the country. So I've been advised that the Newark Streets or Streetography app is now active. So if you go online and you download it, what it does is that it does identify restaurants and open establishments that's in the area. So this is something that we have been working on with another digital partner. So please take advantage of that and just share that app and that message while you're out there. Thank you.
I also just want to add that as press, you have access to the full conference. So any of the breakout sessions, there's a press lounge up on the 3rd floor here that you can use throughout the conference to hang out. It's a quiet space. Do interviews, get some work done, whatever you need to do, it's up on the 3rd floor here. You're our guests, just find me if you need anything, and thanks again.
Thank you.
And there you have it. That was the Voice Summit press conference, talking about a lot of great things going on here in Newark, New Jersey, with various companies, voice technology, and some of the things that we're going to see. I'm going to be covering the event the next few days. And if you have any questions about voice, sales, marketing, social media, just let me know. And I'll be covering various sessions through video, and I'll be writing a few blog posts or so about this. So whenever you get a chance, if you have a question, just reach out. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for your attention.